So please note that all of the content and information you're about to see is updated as of May 2025, and should new information be released after this video recording, please do your own due diligence to understand what those releases are about. So going into this video, let's go ahead and break down the trading platforms, prohibited trading practices, and Alpha Prime, which is basically becoming a live trader at Alpha Futures. So first and foremost, the first two platforms that is available with Alpha Futures is going to be AlphaTix and Quantower. If you are not familiar with AlphaTix, it's pretty much Project X. Other firms have bought a license underneath this white label company, and a lot of people have been using this platform, including myself. So you'll notice here on this next slide that this is actually a screenshot from my own personal Project X, how I have it set up from the DOM to the tabs on the bottom to my charting preferences, the risk settings. I've done a few videos, whether it was on, I think, live stream and also just random videos on my YouTube channel, breaking down how I use Project X. And so you can take a look there. But essentially, Project X is a super friendly, accessible website that you can access on your mobile phone, whether it's Android or it's Apple, and also on a Windows or an Apple product of any type. So pretty awesome. And like I mentioned, Quantower is available. It's actually connected through Project X specifically. So it's a two-in-one type of platform. The next platform that they have to offer is Tradeovate. Now, Tradeovate is a very OG platform that many people know and use and love, including, again, myself. I use Tradeovate with other firms that don't offer Project X. And with using Tradeovate, it's quite simple, very, very basic user interface, and gets everything done the way you need it to be. Exiting and entering trades, very, very simple. Now keep in mind that if you do use Tradeovate, your login credentials will be the same regardless if you use Tradeovate or NinjaTrader, and that's simply because, if you didn't know, NinjaTrader actually purchased Tradeovate, so it's underneath that umbrella. So you can see here that this is Tradeovate. It is a web-based platform, so you can log on to it through any internet. So it's Safari, your Google, Chrome, your Firefox, whatever kind of Googling, or I should say search engine platform you use, just go into the internet, type in Tradeovate, and you'll be able to log in. So some key features to know is that they have phone and live chat available, especially if you do surpass, I believe it's the API limit, which is super important because when you surpass a certain amount of executions, whether it's moving a trade, exiting a trade, entering a trade from multiple accounts as well, there's like a certain max ceiling before they pause any more executions. So it's good to know that they have live support that will be able to bypass that kind of ceiling and allow you to continue to trade again. So definitely keep note of that. Next thing is that it is a third-party charting integration, so you are able to include different community indicators on to your thing. So you'll see that they have EMAs, VWAP, but then there's also community-developed indicators that you can add onto your chart as well. And then finally, they do have a free built-in copy trader, so you don't have to pay anything extra when it comes to copy trading, whether it's 2, 3, 4, 5 accounts, however many accounts you have with Tradeovate, you can copy trade all of them at the same time. Now, for any copy trader, whether it's built in or you pay for it, there is going to be always some type of minimal amount of slippage depending which platform you use, so definitely keep that in mind as well. The next platform they have available, as I mentioned, is NinjaTrader. So same logins as your Tradeovate or the NT credentials that they give you. And this is not going to be particularly a web-based platform. It is going to be a desktop application. So with NinjaTrader, it's usually those that have a Windows device where you can download the NinjaTrader application to your desktop, open it every day, and trade it directly on that software. Now, there's some people that like to go through, I think, a web service of some sort. I'm not too familiar as I'm not a NinjaTrader trader anymore, but if you want to use the desktop, this is what it's meant for. They have a mobile app as well. They have a lightning fast support team. I believe they have chat, live, and phone. And then charting features is actually really superb on NinjaTrader. I used to really like to use the charting platform because it's so clear and because it takes up your whole screen, and being able to execute then and there as well is very, very easy. And then finally, there is trade copiers of third parties you can purchase to end up using with NinjaTrader to copy trade your multiple accounts. And then the next platform, as you may know, is called TradingView. Lots of people use TradingView not only for their charting and for their levels like myself, but also for other people. They tend to execute their trades then and there on that charting platform. So all you'll have to do is go through your Tradeovate account, turn on the free add-on feature, and then you'll be able to log in with your Tradeovate credentials into TradingView, and then everything will be pulled over as far as your accounts on the bottom screen goes, and then you'll have like up-to-date data to be able to actually execute your trades. So trade directly in your charts, custom indicators, and personalize the settings accordingly on how you like it on your chartings. So that's going to be the main platforms, and then the one that is soon to come in the future is called Alpha Trader. Now this one is, as you can tell, developed by Alpha Capital, and this one is going to be very specific to offering unique features tailored for traders within Alpha Capital or Alpha Futures. There's not a set dead time or deadline as to when this platform is going to come out, but just know that it will be an available platform in the coming future. Moving into the not so exciting part of the presentation, but it's very important for you to understand because every single firm out there has prohibited trading practices, and it's your important responsibility to make sure you understand it. So getting into this long list here, I'll try to go as quickly as possible. But number one starts off saying that Alpha Futures restricts the use of automated systems, even traders that don't have an automated system, but are resulting in over 100 trades per day. So if you are someone that likes to trade more than 100 times per day, then Alpha Futures may not be for you. But if you do trade way less than that, then Alpha Futures would be for you. Number two, the use of AI bots and other automated trading, as well as any type of hands-off approach with your trading system, is not allowed at all with Alpha Futures. Now keep in mind, if you have a semi-automated trading system, that is okay. And what I mean with semi-automated is that as long as the trader is actively monitoring both their accounts and their positions, the trader is able to manually manage both the accounts and their positions, and there is a very clear understanding of their system as well as the semi-automation's purpose, then you should be fine in that case. So pretty much everything that is not having you on the charts actively and manually being able to monitor your things is not allowed. But if you are sitting there at your computer, being able to move things around and are moving things around with your automated system, you should be okay. Number five is the all or nothing approach. I mean, I think that's pretty self-explanatory. If you go all into your contracts, into an account, all into trying to make as much profit as possible, and then end up blowing the account, and then kind of recycling your accounts in order to try to get more payouts and kind of rinsing and repeating on the system, they're not looking for that type of trader. They want more consistency. They want to move people to live. They want to grow their own funds as well as obviously putting money in your pocket. So all or nothing is definitely like a 50-50 gamble, and it's not the kind of path they're going down. Number six is order stacking. So this is more towards sim-funded traders, not the live traders. But essentially, if you are placing a bunch of limit orders on the DOM just because you are having better fills on the sim environment, which is true, you are essentially order stacking, and that is prohibited. But keep in mind that you are able to dollar cost average into your positions. So DCA is basically where you enter into one position, and let's say that price is going against your position, and as it goes further away from your TP, and matter of fact, you're more in the drawdown, and you start to enter into more positions to try to average your lower your average of your entry, that is dollar cost averaging, and they do approve and accept that kind of trading. Number seven is tick or micro scalping, and the basic explanation taken directly off their Help Center article is going to be trades that are less than 10 ticks, which is 2.5 points, and also less than 2 minutes long. Now, if you have any concern about the trades you've placed and think that you might be in violation of this number 7 point, then the best thing you can do is reach out to their customer support team and explain your case, or even ask for peace of mind if the trades that you had placed is in fact in violation of it. You can also go into Discord and see other people's personal stories about the kind of trades they took that may have been in violation or not of point number 7, but majority of the time Alpha Futures is already actively monitoring your positions and your accounts as well as the risk management team, so safe to say that they're always going to be watching, but you can always reach out if you want to be safe. Number 8 is going to be pretty specific about just gambling tendencies. They call this account rolling, where you take your max leverage positions with no plan in mind, so you don't have any system with no stop loss, and you pretty much hit max loss on your account before you end up buying more evaluation accounts and rinsing and repeating. So they don't want that type of trading where you're just going, just like number 5 says, all or nothing, where you buy, you blow, you buy, you blow. Instead, they want, again, more consistency. Another thing with point number 8 is going to be account stacking. So I know that some other firms are able to have backup evaluation accounts that are passed, just waiting until you blow your current sim funded. But with alpha futures, they don't want that type of trader. Now, I think having a few on the back burner is okay, not a lot though, especially because you have to activate your evals within 30 days of passing in order to have a sim funded, because if you don't activate it within that 30 days anyways, that past evaluation is going to get lost. So essentially, account stacking is going to be where you have excessive evaluations, you pass them, you have them stored up, so then when you end up withdrawing all the profits from your sim funded account, or you end up hitting the max loss limit on that sim funded account, you end up pulling your next qualified account immediately and just, again, rinsing and repeating this cycle. Number 9 is going to be hedging. So every firm pretty much does this. I believe the only firm that allows it on evaluations is Apex. But as far as alpha futures go, for both the evaluation phase and your qualified funded accounts, it is where you place a long or short position at the same time, and that is not allowed with them. Number 10 is initiating trades to profit from isolated fills in gapped or illiquid markets is not allowed. And then finally, number 11, group trading. So collaborating with others to execute identical or opposite strategies across unconnected accounts is also not allowed. So these are the main 11 things you should know as far as the prohibited trading practices with alpha futures. Every prop firm has their own prohibited trading practices. So if you haven't known this before or read this information before, highly recommend for you to do so you're not thrown off in case you end up getting a message from your company that you're not able to trade with them anymore. So moving into the next thing, which is what happens if you do violate any of those practices that I just listed out. Well, directly from the Alpha Futures team, they say that they reserve the right to terminate any agreements immediately in the event of any breach by the trader. Profits generated from those prohibited trading practices will be void. And then finally, any or all past evaluations are subject for review, and traders found guilty of policy ignorance or abuse will not advance into the qualified phase, aka being a funded trader. Now that we got all of the boring, important things out of the way, let's talk about Alpha Prime. Now, what is Alpha Prime? Well, it is going to be the path to becoming a live funded trader at Alpha Futures. Now, keep note that the maximum amount a trader can achieve on a sim-funded qualified account is up to $40,000 per account, or up to 5 payouts. Now, once you do achieve one of those two things, then Alpha Futures will go ahead and take a look at all of your history and all of your trading and your system and whatnot, and then they'll decide if it's time for you to become a live trader with their company. Now, should you become a live funded trader, the first thing that Alpha Futures will do is process 50% of your account's profit up to a max withdrawal of $15,000 per account as a withdrawal request. Now, this is paid out to you depending on which payout tier you're on, whether it's the standard accounts on the 70, 80, or 90 split, or if you're in the advanced account, then that's the full 90% split. The next thing is that you, the trader, will go ahead and take $5,000 from your leftover balance from that withdrawal, and then Alpha Futures will also take out $5,000 from their pocket, now creating a total $10,000 pot, where this $10,000 will become a static drawdown account for you to trade on. The next amazing thing actually after this is that the remaining balance after your withdrawal, after everything is put into your live account, whatever is left over at this point, should you have money left over, will be split into a 12-month monthly salary. Now, other firms typically kind of take away all of that leftover profits you have. They don't usually put it into anything. It just disappears. But with Alpha Futures, they put it into a salary to make sure you're still being paid out what you earned from your previous qualified accounts. Now, of course, that's only if you are still a live trader with Alpha Futures. So what does the live account look like? Well, let's break it down right here. So as we stated, you'll start with a $10,000 static, non-trailing drawdown account. Completely live, real data in the live markets. From here, there's no consistency rule, so there's no 40%, 30%, no 20%. It's make as much or as little as you want. There's no news trading restrictions, so you can place a trade within the 2 minutes of release or even after if you really want to. Now, when it comes to the max position size, this will be depending on which instrument you're trading, but they do offer a 10-to-1 leverage on your 10K accounts. And then finally, the daily loss limit is actually higher. So it starts at $3,000 and then it continues to scale at 30% of whatever your account balance is as you start to grow it. So as an example, a $13,000 live account will have a $3,900 daily loss limit. So as you increase your live account from $13,000 to $20,000, then your daily loss limit will increase and now become at 30%, or whatever 30% of it is. So now that we talked a lot about the path to becoming a live trader, the monthly salary, the benefits, or as far as like what comes with it, is it really worth it? Well, these are all the things that we kind of discussed. And so to quickly recap it, and then you can make the decision if it's worth it. You get the monthly salary of all your leftover funds after your withdrawal and after money is put into your live account. You get weekly calls with your Alpha Prime manager for strategy development, refinements, risk management, and market analysis. There's no consistency rule, no news trading rules, no maximum withdrawal request. It is a static drawdown, so it's not trailing intraday and it is not end of day like the standard or advanced accounts are. You have the chance to visit the Alpha Prime trading floor in London, so you could fly out there. And then you also have the opportunity to scale your monthly salary as well as earn more money in your live account and grow whatever your allocation is. So with with everything being said in this video, from breaking down the platforms being offered to the kind of trading practices allowed, and then also the path to live, the benefits from it, and getting an understanding of what Alpha Futures is looking for, you get to make the decision if it's worth it. You get to make the decision if you want to trade with Alpha Futures. And that's for any firm. You can watch all the videos out there in social media. You can read all of the forums and all of the experiences and all of the tweets that are coming from other people. But at the end of the day, you get to make the decision of where you want to put your time and your money into. Just make sure that you do all of your own due diligence first, because you have to know what product you're signing up for. You have to know if that company is going to pay you out, and you have to know if your back is being covered as a trader. So with that being said, if you guys do want to trade with Alpha Futures, you can use code TWJ and save at this time 10%, and then the best discount will always be applied moving forward. But that's everything I wanted to cover today, and I hope that you guys are enjoying this little Alpha Futures series I have going on my channel. If you guys have any questions about the company or have anything that I should include in the future videos about Alpha Futures, make sure you comment it down below. But as always, I appreciate your time and support. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I wish you nothing but the best and the most success in all that you do, and I will see you all in the next video.